What's going on, guys? Actually, I just wanted to make a quick video about 10.0.7 and the new Forbidden Reach stuff that's going on. I'm actually having a lot of fun doing some farming. I'm sure you know good and well by now that I have 13 characters that I'm trying to split my time between the best that I can. And it's been a little tough, obviously, picking the few. This content, however, has given me a whole lot of, I guess, kind of a easy back road into getting them geared at least. Obviously, still a lot of stuff to do otherwise on them, but a lot of cool things you can get from doing these stuff in Forbidden Reach, part of which includes getting bind on account 385 items, which is awesome. So I wanted to show you kind of the easiest way I found to farm not only those items but as well as the keys to unlock doors in the vault. I spent 2 days doing this over the course of maybe 2 to 3 hours a day, and got every key I needed to unlock every room. Didn't have to go rare hunting waiting for things to spawn. Just ran this thing a bunch of times in a row and then called it a night when I got bored. So you can see in the video everything I'm doing is we're just massive. We're in a raid group, and you can use pre-made groups to find any of these raid groups. They're going to be called things like key farming, or whatever people are calling them. You can choose war mode on, war mode off, whatever you're using. Once you get in one of these groups, they should be already doing this kind of endless loop. It's going to be 3 different rooms that you're going into, or I guess it's 2, but I consider the last 2 rooms their own. But anyway, you're going to go through this first hall you saw us do. You're going to this staircase here, just killing everything in sight. The more you kill, the more chance you have to find keys, rep scrolls, bind on account items, anything like that. You can see that pull right there. I got 2 bind on account items and something else. I think it's a blacksmith item. But yeah, it's super simple. Takes no time to get through it, and honestly no effort. You get a big enough raid group and you don't even realize what you're doing. Just do your best to tag everything, because there's so many people. It is one of those where if you don't tag it, you won't get the loot for it. So I'm just running around starfalling and moonfire and sunfire everything as much as I can. I'm doing the big damage when I can. The starfall helps a lot here. You can see these big bursts of moments where you get everything collected. Really fun for Boomy, obviously, but yeah, once you get through these rooms at the very end, you'll see that every single run you do, you'll have at least 1 BOA piece, 1 key, whatever you might get. You also get these items, which you'll see here, the purple ones. They're good for upgrading those BOA pieces, 385 to 395. So those are also really, really useful. Just a lot of cool things you can get done here. It's a super simple gameplay loop that is, you can put on a YouTube video like the one you're watching now, run through this thing a handful of times and kind of, profit. I had a little bit of trouble knowing the best way to go about the Forbidden Reach stuff. I felt like I was kind of slowly progressing through stuff and not finding what I was hoping to find. Once I did this one time, I realized this is kind of it. This is what I wanted to do. Yeah, I mean, obviously it gets a little repetitive, but nonetheless, you can see, like, this is the last room here. It's really how quick it is. This last room sometimes will have a rare in it, which pretty much guarantees some kind of purple drop for you, which is great. Typically every 3 to 4 runs you do, that rare will be there. So if you do it for a little while, you can hit them a couple of times. There aren't any lockouts on rares in Forbidden Reach, so that's it. You see I go back through the portal, right back at the beginning where we started. So nothing too crazy. Another thing I feel like I should talk about in this video is the amount of elemental overflow that you're getting from this stuff. I ran this farm for about an hour and a half tonight and got about 30,000 elemental overflow. As you can see, there are some things you can buy with the overflow in Forbidden Reach. There's just some cosmetic items. I'm sure more things will pop up to spend it on, because otherwise this economy for them is kind of blown to shit. But for now, there are things you can buy here. To be honest, I don't recommend you just buy anything here unless you really love the look of these things. But in Valdrakken, at the original Elemental Overflow vendor, which you can see here, this guy Yes, he sells some 359 gear, so if you're doing it and you have some older gear, great. But he sells a mount for 2,000 Elemental Overflow and 2 companions for 1,000 each. I have a feeling they might raise these prices, especially on the mount. 2,000 right now, you can buy that mount immediately. That mount is free, essentially. I would jump in and grab that mount now. It's going to be one of the easiest and cheapest mounts you can get in WoW at the moment, in my opinion. If you do have a character you're gearing and you're just not finding the gear you need, you can also come here and buy some 359 pieces to get you a little closer. I know I have a few that have some 312 stuff that maybe I can't replace right away as well. And just in case you haven't seen it yet, this is the vault here. The vault is awesome. I actually really like this. So I'm one of the weirdos who like Torghast, but it was a little annoying and grindy. The vault's just an easier version of like the fun parts of Torghast, like do puzzles and, you know, work to get to different places. I just didn't like the grindiness and the length of Torghast. The vault is awesome because every door you open stays open. It does change every week with what you have in your vault and like what vault you're in. So excited to see what the difference is going to be next week. But this is how it looks. This is actually me running through and unlocking the last of the doors. I'll actually jump over to the end so you can see where I get the achievement for unlocking all the doors in here. I was unlucky. There's a kind of a collection thing in here where you get a bunch of pieces to a puzzle. I'm one piece away from finishing it, and I believe you get a mount out of it, but I did not get it in my vault this week, so fingers crossed that I get the speck of copper in my vault next week. I already have a couple of keys to dive into some rooms once it does spawn, but I'll show you what the achievement looks like when it pops, and then from there, that's it, man. It's a really quick, simple video to explain kind of one way that you can enjoy the Forbidden Reach. I still recommend killing some rares. I still recommend, you know, exploring everything. But if you're like me, don't pay attention that I just died to a little piece of shit. But if you're like me and you want to kind of grind your way to, you know, being the best you can as fast as you can, because maybe you also have 13 characters, this is definitely the way to do it. That being said, I'll shut up. I appreciate y'all checking it out. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy the Forbidden Reach. Bye.